Pancho, Panchito, tú eres mi amorcito. Ay, Pancho, Panchito, tú eres mi amorcito. Ay, Pancho, ay, Pancho.
Warning, the following videos aren't intended to hurt and or bully anyone. It's solely my job in salvation to report on what's going on with the YouTube community and give my opinion because my opinion matters. Sorry about that. Weenie Hut Jr. discretion is advised.
If this is not a sign that God is real, I don't know what is. God is real, guys. We need to trust in God because even when you push God away, God still will show up for you in many ways. Even when you try to push him away, even when all the signs are there, God is always going to be there for you. So I'm filming this video and I'm being raw and vulnerable because what I just found out this morning is disgusting. What I found out is not consistent at all with the narrative that I was told the night that I was... I would like to clarify that these were not strangers that I was with. These were creators. These were well-known people that you guys probably follow, that are still going about their day today, posting like nothing happened, going about their day, not a single check-in, just silence. While I'm here going back and forth to the police in the hospital. Maybe it was all a lack of responsibility and just not trusting in God and pushing God away. But I will say that God shows up even when you do push him away. And he does send people to protect you in ways that you don't even know you need. It's so fresh that I'm trying to process everything right now. Everything that I know. And what I know is not even what I know, is what I heard. I'm not sure what or what I cannot say for the sake of this case, because it is an ongoing investigation. So I'm going to be very careful with how I say things and how I word things because I really don't want to mess with this case. So basically, after waking up completely bruised, sore, shirt ripped open, pants ripped, I was told that somebody's boyfriend from the group was left behind with me and they took care of me and they're the reason I made it home to the hotel safe. They told me a completely different narrative up until I posted my video. That's when the person who invited me to WeHo responded to my message. And it was just a lot of blame on me about how things were just messy and how I got out of hand and whatnot. And so my fourth drink, I do not remember a single thing, guys. I just remember being inside of this club, but it was something that I was second guessing and I was overthinking. Given the circumstances that on the way in the Uber, someone was being very touchy, very friendly with me. The person that invited me to WeHo. This person has also invited me to WeHo before in the past at another event, and I did not go because my friends weren't going. And so I don't know what was different this time. This time I just decided to go. Why am I so emotional, bro? And so after we made the decision to drop my friend's car off at our parking garage and then we Ubered, in the Uber, the person that invited me was already being touchy from the beginning while their partner was right next to them. And so I noticed that and I thought, you know, things were kind of off. I tried to change the vibe and like the uncomfortableness. And so I mentioned something like, what is WeHo about? And that's when they start telling me like, just be careful with your phone, hold on to it tight, be careful with your wallet because they pickpocket. It just felt like a foreshadowed moment. I don't know why I didn't just go. I think I blame myself a lot for just putting myself in that situation. And so they held my wallet. They told me to hold on to my phone. From that moment, I knew something was wrong. I do take accountability that I made a decision. I'm grown enough to say no. I'm grown enough to get out of situations that I'm unsure of. Why are we even going to this place if you're telling me all of the bad things about it? The moment I get there, we go straight to the bar and the person who invited me gives me shots. We're all taking shots together. He buys shots for everyone and we're taking shots. Everything's going good. I'm still observing the room and I'm still looking around and it's not really my vibe, but I'm just pushing through. I did not buy any shots at all that night. Every shot that I took was given to me. It wasn't that I felt in danger or that I felt unsafe. I just felt unsure. But I stayed because I thought I was in safe company. I thought I was surrounded around well-known creators that had a good reputation. I know they were mutuals with other friends and I had not gone out with them before, but I didn't think I was in harm's way. I never thought that people within my own group would be people I would have to look out for. Looking back at it now, that was very close-minded of me to think, and I should have took more precautions. I don't remember going in an Uber. I don't remember going anywhere. I don't remember consenting to anything or doing anything with anyone. This morning, I was sent a video in my DM from somebody, a stranger, that saw my video on TikTok, and the video I seen, it disgusts me. I hate myself for it. I hate that I even had to see that. I can't deny that it was God. What are the odds that somebody was there at that time in that empty strip to record a video, a very vulnerable moment of me leaning on a fence, visibly Really incoherent, wobbling, not in my five senses, with the person that was left with me to take care of me, somebody from the group, someone that has a public relationship for over 5 years. I know myself well enough, I would never do something like that. When I had got to the hotel already at like 4:30 in the morning, my friend said that I was already visibly gone, that I was blacked out. They had to physically lift me up onto the bed because of how out I was. You can hide your image, you can lie your way out of things, you can make things up, but the truth does not need a stage. It doesn't need a platform. And then eventually truth comes to light, and God works in mysterious ways. And God was working through that person that took that video and sent that video to me. What are the odds that they were able to match that description to the video that I posted? Everybody had went home and they had left me with this person because the narrative that I was told was that I was so messed up and that things got super messy and crazy and that I had to stay behind. When that person got me to my hotel and my friend was there, he started explaining to my friend that I was just messed up, started putting all the blame on me, started saying that I was doing this and that and etc. Started talking about everything that I was doing wrong. Mind you, I have no phone, I have no wallet, I have a flight in the morning. That person took advantage of me. That person saw an opportunity and took it and ran with it and saw that I was vulnerable, saw that I was incoherent, that I was not okay. You've seen the way someone was able to be friendly with me. This was the person that everyone was telling me that could speak to me and tell me everything word for word what happened the entire night. And this is the person that was taking advantage of me. This is the person that took an opportunity and seen that I was not okay and unstable. It's inevitable that I was not okay, considering my diagnosis. Unintentional poisoning by psychotropic drug and drug withdrawals. I don't do drugs. I'm not blaming the group that I was with because I can't point fingers to what I don't know. Right now it's just suspicion, and that's why it's an ongoing case, because I need to figure out what happened to me and why is everyone able to remember everything but me. You know I had no phone. You know I have no wallet. You know I had a flight in the morning. No one was checking up. My friend reached out for my wallet and my phone. No one responded. It's just opened up so many different doors of trauma. And the lesson from all of this is to stop being so trusting, to pay attention of your surroundings and observe, and don't be so naive. I'm just really grateful for God. I'm really grateful that God has been showing up for me, even when I've maybe pushed him away. I just can't imagine if my friend was not in that hotel room, what could have happened and the possibilities, what really happened and why did this happen? Never did I think I would hear my mom crying on Mother's Day and that I would be going through this in the hospital, not knowing what happened to me. Always trust your gut instinct. Believe in God, trust in God, follow the sign. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. If things aren't meant to be, they're not meant to be, and God is going to put things in your path. Thank you for watching. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable and for giving me the platform that I have. I love you guys. Thank you.
So breaking it down, the first image that Lucas showed, you guys can obviously see that it was Adamray in the bottom left corner on this screenshot right here. Hey, I need to talk to you about something pretty serious that I just found out. Hey, Lucas, yes, what happened? This is what Adam had to say what happened. Yes, for sure. I'm sorry that happened. And seriously, it's such a scary situation. Once that fight happened after the kiss with Louie, I was trying to do my best to de-escalate the situation by taking Fer to my house and have Lauro stay with you guys and make sure everyone got home safe. Now, on this screenshot, we're assuming it was Louie responding. Hey, Lucas, I'm so sorry. I'm just seeing your message. I've been trying to get myself together as well. So much happened that night and it's brought me a lot of anxiety and issues with my partner. I'm even more scared and worried for the news you're giving me now. I can explain to you what happened with my partner. After we all went to the bars, we decided it was time to leave. So we all left the bars together to call our Ubers. You and I were talking when you leaned in to kiss me. My boyfriend saw you come on me. He pushed you to ask you what the fly in Dublin you were doing after that whole fight between you and a fight broke off. I tried to stop both of you, but things got really messy. I assumed you had just too many drinks and my partner was upset with what just happened. After we separated, you two, Adam took my boyfriend Fer to his home and Lauro took you to your hotel to make sure you arrived. Now, remember, we don't really know if it is or isn't, but a lot of people were assuming because Lauro had the same outfit and Lucas was hanging out with him the whole night. And then all the comments were flooding his page saying that it was him, yada, yada, yada. Make sure to comment down below. Do you guys think it was him or wasn't? Remember, everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Comment down below.
I also want to make it known that I had nothing to do with what happened to Lucas's drink that night. That night, me, Fernando, Adam, and Lauro went to an event together where we seen Lucas. I had met Lucas probably 2 other times before this, so very naturally, I approached him to say hello, have him sit with all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean me along with a bunch of other creators who were also attending this event. As the night went on, we decided we wanted to keep the night going. So everybody started talking about going out after this. Lucas hanging out with us as well. I decided to invite him. During Lucas's video, he talks about feeling very uncomfortable and not wanting to come out with us. But that night, that's not the impression that was given to us at all. And I don't say this to take away from how he said he felt, but I bring this up because if I knew or I felt that he was being standoffish or uncomfortable, I would have told him that there's no problem with him staying back. After him saying yes and saying he wanted to come out with us, he let us know that he was driving somebody else's car, and he asked us to go with him to the hotel that he was staying with this person to drop off their car, which is why I am taken back by him saying that he almost felt like he was pressured or that I lured him to come out with us, because he asked us to go with him to drop off that car to then be able to Uber with us to the club. As we were leaving the event in his car, it was Lucas, Adam, Lauro, me, Fernando, and 2 other people in there. I'd like to make it known that it wasn't just us 4 with Lucas. There was 2 other people who were also coming out with us and were inside of Lucas's car. While we were there in his hotel, he could have called that a night. I wasn't pressuring him or forcing him or saying he had to come out with us or let's continue the night. I remember him saying that he had a flight early morning the next day. So I was in no place to force somebody to come out with us. Regardless of whether he had a flight or not, I was not being pushy about him coming out with us. I was under the impression that he wanted to come out with us and he wanted to continue the night. On our way to WeHo, I did tell him, please hold on to your phone and hold on to your wallet. I told him to not put any of his belongings in his back pocket, as I've gotten my phone and my wallet stolen there multiple times. I was letting him know because I didn't want him to go through the same thing. I also have a lot of friends who have had their belongings stolen. During this whole conversation, my intention wasn't to scare Lucas about where we were going. It was more to just have him be aware of his belongings, as I didn't want him to misplace it or get it stolen. On the way there, he actually gave me his wallet and asked me to hold it for him, which I said yes. I was already holding my boyfriend's wallet and Lucas's wallet in my bag because I don't feel like having it in our pockets was going to be the safest thing to do. We had quite a few shots at the bar. I believe I bought maybe 4 rounds of shots for everybody that was there with us. While we were buying shots, none of these shots that were being purchased and handed out were intentionally passed out to anybody in particular. At least from the shots that I bought, every time I'd purchase them, I would hand them out like this. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. I don't know who it was going to or what was happening. I would just pass it on. It wasn't an intentional, here's your shot, here's your shot, here's your shot. And after being there at the club for maybe an hour, we all decided that it was time to call it a night, which is when we all headed out of the club. When we were heading out of the club, we all had quite a few drinks in us, especially after taking shots back to back to back. I imagine that they hit all of us pretty hard. So when we were heading out of the club, we were going to call our Ubers when Lucas tried to come on to me to kiss me. When Lucas tried to kiss me, with my partner being there, my partner saw and immediately confronted Lucas about it in a very angry matter, as I believe any other partner would. In that moment, I was so shocked that Lucas tried to kiss me because I didn't see it coming. When my boyfriend confronted him, it turned angry on both ends very quickly and they began to fight. I almost don't even want to use the word fight because there wasn't much of a fight. It was more of my boyfriend confronting Lucas. I believe my boyfriend pulled his shirt, and that's about all my boyfriend got to Lucas. Lucas ends up pushing both me and my boyfriend to the ground twice. And I'm going to show some of the pictures from that night and what me and my boyfriend had because of that fight. My boyfriend is not an aggressive person. So in that moment, I kind of panicked and didn't want something bigger to occur, especially this not being something that I have to deal with on a regular with my partner. But after seeing what he had just seen, I could only imagine the frustration that he was feeling in that moment as somebody who we had just spent the whole night with tried to come on to me. Adam grabbed Fernando and took Fernando to separate him, and Lauro grabbed Lucas, and everybody left and left me there alone. During that fight, I lost my phone, and when everybody was separated, I came back to where the fight had happened to grab what I believed was my phone. My phone, or at least what I believed was my phone, was completely shattered, and I couldn't turn it on. I couldn't make a phone call. I didn't know where to head to. Somebody came across me and ended up taking me home. I have no idea who this person was, and I am just thankful that they approached me to take me home. In that moment, I didn't understand why I was left alone, and I felt so lost since I didn't have my phone. I didn't have a way to reach anybody or communicate with anybody. And as I was being driven home, this guy lent me his phone to be able to call my dad, and that is how I made it home. The next morning after all of this happened, I woke up and immediately realized that the phone that I had wasn't my phone. So I made a phone call through my desktop to reach my boyfriend, and that was my main concern. My relationship with my partner after what he had just seen was my main concern. Up until that whole day after everything happened, I had no idea that something had happened to Lucas's drink. I was still under the impression that Lucas just had too many drinks and made a mistake. I called my boyfriend to come home, and I spent that whole day arguing and having a conversation with my partner about everything that had happened. I did notice later that night that Lucas had sent me a message, and this was after I had to go purchase a new phone because I lost my phone. I didn't have my phone to be able to reach out to Lucas, and two, when I did see a message from Lucas, and me still thinking that Lucas just got really drunk that night, I didn't want to open it because I simply thought it was going to be an apology for having too many drinks and trying to kiss me. I was focused on my relationship and did not want to talk to somebody who had just caused an argument and caused my boyfriend to fight over what he had just seen. The following day is when I saw Lucas's video explaining what had happened to his drink. From that day on, up until yesterday, before he posted his video, I have been in communications with Lucas the whole time because I now had an understanding that this wasn't him just having too many drinks and making a mistake. There was more to the story. When Lucas found out about that video with him and Lauro, that is when me and Adam and Fernando found out about that video. We had no idea of this happening, and we were all just as shocked as Lucas when we seen this video. And I tried to comfort Adam, but was in such shock myself because none of us knew about this happening between Lucas and Lauro. I don't want to speak on both their ends on what happened because I wasn't there anymore. Since Lucas opened up to us about what was found in his system, even my partner and I realized that it wasn't something that he intentionally wanted to do. And I've let Lucas know this, that it is not something that we are holding against him, as we know that there's way more to what caused him to do that. And regardless of all of this that has happened between me and Lucas, I still hope and pray that he is able to find out and figure out what happened to his drink that night, because this is something that none of us saw coming, and I myself was under the impression that he just had too many drinks. But I wanted to make it known again that I had nothing to do with what happened to Lucas's drink.
Do or be a part of the drug or spike of somebody else's drink in the club. I would also like to say that anybody in my circle, anybody I consider a friend, wouldn't be okay with the idea or the action of that either. I just want to tell the story of where I feel like I come in, and that was leaving the club after we all had quite a lot to drink. As we were waiting outside of the club, getting ready to go, there was an altercation between Lucas and Fern after Fern said that he saw Lucas coming onto Louie and was kissing him. I was trying my best to de-escalate the situation and separate everybody, so I decided to take Fern to my home and have Lauro stay with Louie and Lucas to make sure that they got home safe. After I had left, Louie ended up walking away and getting a ride home with somebody else, which is how Lauro and Lucas ended up being together. The same way that Lucas found out about the video of him and Lauro is the exact same way me, Louie, and Fern found out about it too. Hence why my story was what it was the entire time. I had no idea that had happened up until he showed me that video. In my original story to Lucas, I mentioned that I would be more than happy to speak to anybody that I needed to speak to in order to make the situation right and for him to get justice. And I still stand on that.
I didn't put anything in anyone's drink. I didn't essay anyone. I didn't grape anyone. I didn't do any of those things. All I did that night from that person's video was try to help him. That's all I did. All I did was try to get him from point A to point B because I saw that he was in a very tough situation. He didn't have his phone. He didn't have his wallet. He didn't have any way of communicating with anyone. Finding out all the information that he's been putting out these past few days. Obviously, somebody put something in his drink, and I hate to say this, and I don't even think my family knows about this situation, but I know exactly the feeling of getting drugged and getting taken advantage of. And I promise to this person that I would have never taken advantage of him, especially under that influence. I had no idea that that was the state that he was in during this whole ordeal. We end up kind of like all separating. Fern goes with Adam, then Louie just leaves. We end up sitting like on the side of where kind of like the altercation happened. We just scooted down a little bit and we sat on like a railing. But then I don't know what possessed me to go along with it. I just went along with it. It was eating me alive and I didn't even know how to tell Adam. I just felt like I betrayed him and the person as well. That's the one thing that I will say that I actually did, and everything else are accusations that are not true. I do apologize that you went to a place that I really didn't know that you weren't comfortable going. I would have probably encouraged for you not to go if I knew that you were skeptical, but I really hope that you find justice in finding out who did that to you. I really do hope that they get what they deserve, and I really do hope that you recover from all the trauma that all of this may have caused you.